Alright folks, so we tried out Grok 4.6 and let me tell you, it is definitely up there with the top dogs like Fable, GPT 5.6 Soul in terms of overall intelligence. I mean, look at this. This actually looks like Helm's Deep. It even got the torch details right on, and look at that, the lighting as well, that during the siege of Helm's Deep. This is the most impressive run I've seen so far. But what's interesting here is it uses the same base model as Grok 4.5, but they did a hell of a lot better job at the post-training stage. And they also did a ton of behavioral shifts so that it's very coherent for long horizon coding. So I cannot believe that this is the day that Grok is finally meta in terms of coding. Like, this is going to actually be a solid first pick choice for overall coding. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the other benchmark runs that Grok 4.6 has built. It's 16 benchmark runs, so it is a lot of tokens used, but surprisingly, it is quite cheap. It only used 40% of my weekly usage for this scale of a project, so very, very impressive. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and enjoy. Alright, let's quickly look at the specs here. You can check this out on our website, superbash.ai. So the benchmark numbers here pertaining to coding, terminal work, software engineering, it's definitely going head to head against the top dogs like Fable 5 and GPT 5.6 Soul. And we are also seeing big improvements compared to Grok 4.5 for Deep Sui in terms of software engineering. And this is true, right? Because we have done a review and the benchmark runs for Grok 4.5, it did pretty okay, but it's like nothing, not at all impressive. But the biggest advantage we saw with Grok 4.5 is that it's really fast. It's very good for agent harnesses like Hermes Agent. So if you want like quick research task, web search, Grok 4.5 really good. But when it comes to long horizon coding, we would not use Grok 4.5 for that purpose. But now with Grok 4.6, it can definitely be up there, right? Like, I think this is definitely a very solid choice. So now let's take a look at the benchmark runs. So starting with City Scroll Journey, this is basically a landing page for a website, but using Higgsfield MCP for the animation. So we're going to scroll down and you can see it shows the city of, what city is this? I don't know. It looks like Italy. Lisbon. Okay, it's Lisbon. So it did pretty well. The last time we did this benchmark run was with Qwen 3.8 Max, right? When it did the Tokyo city, so you can check that video out. But this one, pretty solid, right? It used the skill pretty well. It's not sloppy at all. So really, really nice. But also last check to see is if we can click the link here so it skips through. All right, so I think that's the part that it didn't do well. It just skips straight ahead. Maybe if you want like straight to the point, this would be a nice UI feature for a website. But if we're going to compare the UI of Qwen 3.8 Max, you can see if I click the destination, it goes through the animation and then to that one. So maybe some preference, it's different for different types of users. I prefer to have the Qwen 3.8 Max, but all in all, Grok 4.6 did pretty well for this project. All right, next up is Ember Glider. This is the flight simulation game where I have to beat the time. So controls, oh my god, it's actually pretty hard to control this. I'm landed. Okay, safe landing. Oh, press R to relaunch. Okay, so the controls for this is slightly hard to do, but I think this is maybe more realistic. What do I have to do here? Yeah, let me just look at the instructions one more time. So it is the same ones. I just have to be a bit more sensitive for the flight path. So the movements are inverted. You see, I am flying towards the right now, but I am pressing the A key, which is supposed to be the left side. That's giving me a bit of dizziness right now. But I think from a gamer's perspective, this is sort of a fail because the movement is very counterintuitive. But I do appreciate that there's the R button so I don't lose my progress. I'm trying to fly up. But I can't. Maybe this is more native to pilots because I don't know how to fly a plane. So maybe it's supposed to be this hard when you're flying an actual plane. So you guys can play this too. It's on our website, superbash.ai. Yeah, have a go at it. All right, next up, Helm's Deep. This one is the most impressive run I've seen compared to every other model out there, even Fable 5. No model has ever captured these torch details. You know, when the orcs sieged Helm's Deep, right? It was raining and there was thunder. There's no orcs there, but hey, maybe the new models in the future, the much stronger ones, are gonna generate those orcs, but it is quite graphic intensive. So you can see also it's much better to do this on local. So we did run Grok build on local on our machine to build this out. So big pass here, but still, even when I get past the gate, we're now inside Helm's Deep. We're not progressing towards the upper level. It's still filler here, but all in all, the environment, very, very solid. The attention to detail as well is really good. All right, next up is the Hogwarts Broom Flight Simulator. It's auto flight, and all we need to do is just change route by arrow keys. So still, most of these models are not able to capture just how big Hogwarts really is. This is kind of similar to what Grok 4.5 have made. Oh, okay. This is a new flight path. We're in the school now. Okay, now we're in the field, but not all that impressive, but still pretty good. All right, next up is Jabberwock. This is a poem to game idea. Okay, the wave will not appear. This game needs WebGL. So it needs a JavaScript API to render a lot of the high graphics of this game. This is what the game's supposed to look like. This is the one that's done by Kimi K3. The movement is a bit unique in a way that there's some physics going on. We got this idea from Fable 5 when it built out the poem to game idea. So I'm going to say it's a fail for this benchmark run, but it's able to, I think, identify its limitations and say, hey, for this type of benchmark, we need additional tools to achieve that. So mind you, this is a first try, but I'd say for this one, definitively a fail. All right, next up is the low poly tower defense game. So the camera movement is working fine. We have a full view of the map, the terrain, but it's slightly hard to control. There's still, it's like, you see how I'm rotating it left to right? We're not getting a full 360. It's fixed on these angles right here. This was the same problem that Qwen 3.8 Max was facing. But at least we get to see the full map. So we have 120 gold. We can place our defense turrets. Okay. Start the wave. The pathfinding logic is not correct, I think. Or is it? It's kind of weird. It went through where the turret was supposed to be. I think for this benchmark run, it could definitely be better, but the graphics are not bad. So for its first try, I would give it a pass. But we do find some inconsistencies with the pathfinding and also the clarity of where the end game is. So it's supposed to be, it's actually this red thing right here. If these monsters get to the red looking object, then I lose lives. So as you can see, I'm down to 17. Earlier it was 20. So yeah. All right, next up is Low Poly World. This is a mini version of Minecraft. Or, ooh, what was that? So that's supposed to be like the particle in the air. But the movement, let's see. Oh, okay, so I have to drag like this. Face a tree and stand closer. So we have to harvest the trees. Okay. Ooh, I like that animation though. I think we can only harvest trees. All right, so we can craft. All right, so we can craft the lookout bench. Place lookout bench. Where did it go? Right down there. So the logic also of the placements of these objects, not correct. But maybe because the prompt for that is not good. So we'll definitely do a better job of revamping the prompts so we have a much better finished product. All right, next up is the mechanical watch simulator. So this is a very cool idea. And first thought, it does look quite pretty, but is there a finished product for this watch? I think it's just the insides of the watch. We can zoom in as well, actually. All right, next up is the Neon Drift. This is where we are racing against ourselves in the future lap. So here we go. There's more of a drift for Grok 4.6. Okay, there we go. That's me in lap 1, and I'm racing against it in this current lap. And the goal of this game is to just not let my previous lap beat me. So this is pretty fun to play, but it's certainly not as pretty, not as smooth, I would say, compared to the one a Qwen 3.8 built. Oh my god, I'm stuck. Back me up. Back me up. Reverse. And go. Wait. Here we go. Nice. Alright, so yeah, try this out. Pretty good. Alright, Office Life. This one also, we want to... Whoa, what is going on? It's so fast. Because the sim time is like accelerated. We should find a way to slow down the sim time. But what we're looking for here is the pathfinding logic. So lunch break. Everyone just heads to recession. Oh, okay. Day complete. Okay, so we'll wait for the next day. Here we go. Lunch break. All right, everyone's sitting still in the kitchen, some in their office eating. Okay, pretty good. Emergency meeting. Where do they go? Executive office. Oh, everyone's placed there. All right, so, but it's still, you know, they're running like right through the tables. So far, no model has ever been able to, for this is way too fast. But, you know, what we're looking for is that these workers would not just run across the table, that they would just go around the table. So we're going to fix this one as well, but I'd say this one, let's say it's a fail. But the details of the office is quite nice, so I'd give bonus points for that. Okay, next up is the Petri Dish. This is the predator versus prey. For this one, we can definitely speed it up. What's going on? Did all the predators just die? Oh my goodness. The preys are beating the predators. What? Every model favors the predator to win, but it seems like the preys keep winning. Let's just keep adding the predators and see. No way, the preys still won. What? Big fail for this one. Or am I just biased and I'm just rooting for the predators? But that doesn't make any sense. What if we have more predators than there are prey? We keep clicking. Hey, it's capped. It's capped. I can't have the predators more than the preys. And the prey still won. Wow. Looks like the Grok 4.6 is putting on the White Knight armor. So the logic for this one is a fail, I'm afraid to say. I don't know why Grok 4.6 just favors the prey more than, you know, the law of nature. All right, Starfall Arena. This is the space shooter game where there are, you know, level ups after we destroyed the enemy. So let's see what we get. All right, so not bad. Quite simple though. Let's go with the orbiting blade. Ooh, look at that. But I'd say this is way too simple. How was it able to do a very good job at Helm's Deep, but for the rest it just gave up. Alright, but not bad for this one, I'd say. Okay, moving on. Stormwind Trebuchet Simulator. This one involves a lot of mathematics and a lot of physics. And the UI, man, what's going on? Why is it so good in Helm's Deep, but so bad for the rest? This interface is supposed to be here on the side. But we can still interact with it. I can't move it. Much correction is needed here, but let's go ahead and fire. Still blocking the way. And hit. Okay, yeah. Pass for the physics, but fail for the UI. Okay, Universe Simulator. We're not going to go over this one too much. This is pretty much trained in every data set of all models. But let's zoom out and see. Ooh, the scale is much more accurate, I would say, right? Like, you know how they say space is giant. Like, it's so big, we cannot comprehend the distance. This kind of gives a good feel for that. Look how far Neptune is. Is it really that far? But yeah, pretty good, actually. I'd say this is more impressive than how the other models have built it. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. Is Neptune supposed to rotate that slow? I don't know. Let me know. All right, the second last benchmark, Vice City. This is auto-generated city. What we're looking for is the animation. There we go. That's where we have it. Toggle day and night. I like that. This one looks pretty, okay? Helm's Deep, Vice City, pretty impressive, but why is the rest quite mediocre? Are we seeing some signs of inconsistencies here? Because It is a very large task. It's a one-shot prompt to deploy sub-agents to build all 16 of these benchmark runs. It's not one session per benchmark run. It's one prompt for 16 benchmark runs. Use sub-agents, but the output is pretty good. All right, and the last one, this is the OG classic 3D assembly of a Chinese architecture. If it's able to build a complete roof with no sticks poking out, this is a big pass. Big pass. I mean, it impressed me already with Helm's Deep. Can you impress me here? Ooh, nice looking roof, but we got the sticks again poking out, the scaffolding. So a lot of the top models right now are still struggling with this, but so far the ones that are able to complete a full roof, Qwen 3.8 max, Qwen 3.7 max, Fable 5, and I think Kimike 3. So this one, pretty good, I'd say. We're also looking for the details of age erosion. Let's see if it's there. Ooh, okay, it is mostly a color change, but look at that. The roof goes uneven, but I don't think it's supposed to collapse like that. Is that how it would work? Much of the sticks are showing up, but there are subtleties in the texture, but it's not very pronounced. It's not obvious that it's a crack. It's more like molding. But all in all, I'd say it's a pass. So let me know what you guys think about Grok 4.6. Do you think it is definitely on par with Fable, GPT 5.6 Soul? We definitely find that to be the case, okay? Mind you, this is a very large project to build with one prompt and having to use sub-agent. I'd say the output would definitely look a lot more different if it was one session and Grok 4.6 being the one to do the coding. All it did was being the orchestrator and coordinator of the sub-agents to build out all of these side by side. But the cost relatively is quite cheap compared to GPT 5.6 and Fable 5. 40% weekly usage limits used up so far, but for a scale of this is really good. If I were to use Fable 5 or GPT 5.6 Soul, it would have hit the weekly limit easily. But man, maybe the first thing it did was the Helm's Deep, and then it sort of drifted off when it did the rest of the projects. Because this is just, wow, I can be easily impressed with just one benchmark run. I mean, if it's able to do one amazing job for one benchmark run, but for the rest is subpar, that is still a very big win for me. And this is Grok, by the way. This is Grok, but now it can definitely be a top solid pick. So we're gonna space this out a bit. Maybe let's try building them out using Grok 4.6 without sub-agents, and I think the quality there could be definitely a lot better. All right, but we just wanted to get this out quick, let you guys know what we think about Grok 4.6, but man, this is really good. So if you find this video helpful, give us a like, subscribe to the channel to follow for more updates, guides, and news. My name is Ron, shining out.